Hyderabad, as we know of it today, is a part of India, but it was not so in the past. On the midnight of August 15, 1947, India gained its independence from the British and was partitioned into two countries, India and Pakistan. While leaving, the British permitted the princely states to choose whether they would like to remain independent or join either country's territory. Hyderabad was then ruled by Nizam Osman Ali Khan, the seventh ruler of Nizam dynasty. So the Nizam of Hyderabad opposed the idea of merger with India after independence. The princely states of Hyderabad included many areas of states like present-day Maharashtra, Telangana, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Then Home Minister of India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, entrusted with the responsibility of uniting the provinces into one nation. With his efficient leadership and brilliant strategy, Sardar Patel made impossible possible. And out of 565, 562 princely states were ready to merge with India. In 1947, Home Minister Sardar Patel requested Osman Ali Khan to join India, but he refused. Instead, he declared Hyderabad as an independent nation on August 15, 1947. The Indian Union did not like the idea of an independent princely state surrounded by India on all sides, since the majority population in the state was Hindu. Hyderabad was of great interest for India both culturally and geographically. Sardar Patel felt that an independent Hyderabad would be a cancer in Indian belly. Lord Mountbatten in 1948 created Heads of Agreement Deal, according to which autonomous dominion status would be given under Indian state. The deal called for the restriction of the regular Hyderabadi armed forces, while it allowed the Nizam to continue as the executive head of the state. The Hyderabad government would continue to administer its territory as before, leaving only foreign affairs to be handled by the government of India. India would handle the external affairs and defense of Hyderabad, but won't interfere in the internal affairs. But Nizam didn't agree for this. After a series of failed negotiations for a treaty between India and the Nizam, Mountbatten, in the hope of successfully resolving the issue, drafted an agreement which called for neither accession nor independence, but nonetheless gave considerable freedom to the Nizam. But Patel rejected this agreement. For India, having an independent state in its midst was a disaster for communication, railways, roads and electricity. But the Nizam decided to merge Hyderabad into Pakistan. Maybe it would have been called South Pakistan today. This would be a tremendous threat to the Republic of India. Moreover, the people were not at all happy with the Nizam rule. The decades of exploitation of the people under the Jagir and Deshmukh system of feudal lordship had instilled. The system of Jagirs, Patels, Patwaris, Deshmukhs, etc., who acted as feudal lords and officials for administering the countryside. The Nizam system of ruling his state rested on a well-knit network of Police Patel, Mali Patel, Patwari at the village level. These posts were hereditary, and these posts only to the Reddy Dora and Velama Doras. They owned most of the land and collected taxes from the poor peasants, and they had good bonding with the Nizam. With all this going on, the peasant population of Telangana rised in rebellion in 1946 under the leadership of some prominent leaders to dismantle the feudal system. About 60,000 people left their homes, joined actively as leaders of the movement. According to official records, 35,000 people were arrested in Hyderabad state and tortured. About a lakh of bogus cases were booked against the participants of the movement. Thousands of people sacrificed their lives. Even the women had to take up arms to fight the Doras. Komram Bhim, the famous Telangana tribal leader from Adilabad, heroically fought against the cess that was imposed by the Nizam government on forest produce. He inspired millions of people. Chakali Ailamma revolted against Zemindar, who tried to usurp her 4 acres of land. Her revolt inspired many people to join the movement. Communists were on warpath with the Nizam, which called Telangana Sayuda Raithanga Poratam. It was a revolution against the Nizam to end bonded labor and stop fake debts. The landlords exploited the people by collecting heavy interest on their loans, and even they misguided the farmers with false accounts. If they failed to repay, they would give them corporal punishment. If any of them questions about their exploitation, they would beat with whiplash and they would put chili powder on their wounds. Under the rule of Nizam, Hindus were brutally suppressed by the rulers. Arya Samaj and Hindu Mahasabha staged agitations against the Nizam and his nobles for the discrimination against Hindus. In the Hindu majority Hyderabad, the Nizam had ensured that Hindus didn't enjoy even the basic fundamental rights. He tried to convert Hyderabad into a sovereign Islamic state. The rebellion also began within Hyderabad. People were united against the Nizam. Frightened by the growing awareness amongst the Hindu population in Hyderabad, Nizam formed a private army called Razakars to suppress the agitations by mass murdering and looting the villagers. Qasim Razvi was leading the private army. Razakars of strength up to 2 lakhs. Nizam ordered the Razakars to suppress the Hindus. Over 150 villages in Telangana were pushed into Islamic brutality. Major population of Hyderabad wanted to join India, but Nizam with the help of Razakars tried to crush majority population and wanted to remain independent to hold his power. The Razakars attacked many villages in Telangana region and looting people conducting massacres. Any village could be robbed in broad daylight. The non-Muslims were openly targeted, and not only innocent people, women and girls were mistreated. A section of Hindu Deshmukhs Jagirdars supported the Nizam, and some people even joined the Razakars force. Their cruelty and atrocities went to such a peak level. The situation became worse when the Nizam banned the use of Indian currency within Hyderabad and exports to India. Students who used to participate in national struggle were brutally punished and kicked out of his kingdom. Former Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao was one among them, so he completed his studies in Nagpur. Rest of the country was actively participating in national struggle, whereas in Hyderabad no one was supposed to even utter a word Vande Mataram. Events of Rangapuram and Lakshmipuram in Telangana is considered as South India's Jallianwala Bagh. Razakars came down heavily onto the common people who celebrated India's freedom from the British in 1947. There is a famous local song in Telangana against Nizam and his atrocities. Indian intelligence also received reports that the Nizam was arming Hyderabad with weapons imported from Pakistan, and also the rulers planned to ally with Pakistan. But the people were not only opposed their rule, but were also willing to merge with India at any cost. According to Razakars, either Hyderabad should have been an independent state where Sharia law would have been in force, or it should have been merged with Pakistan. Hyderabad had given rupees 200 million to Pakistan. After receiving the details of the exodus of Hindus by the Nizam of Hyderabad, Nehru decided to solve peacefully. He did not want any military conflict between the Nizam and Indian Union. Sardar Patel was determined not to have an independent Islamic state in the heart of India. Patel disagreed Nehru completely, and he clarified that the measure of Hyderabad to India is almost impossible without military action. Patel decided upon the use of force. The Vice Indian Governor General C. Rajagopalachari called Nehru and Patel together to resolve the differences. Nehru's resistance to military action suddenly ended when a telegram from the British High Commission protesting against the rape of some British nuns in Secunderabad by Razakars was shown to him by Rajaji. Eminent officers like Lieutenant General Rajendra Singh were appointed as the main commanders for the accession to India. Since Hyderabad had the largest number of polo grounds in the country, this military operation was named as Operation Polo. Nizam sent his minister in a special flight to file a complaint with the Security Council of the United Nations, alleging the armed aggression of India on his state, even as he himself was acquiring arms and imparting training to the Razakars. Hyderabad government started importing arms from Pakistan. Nizam started acquiring weapons All the factories in Hyderabad were converted into arms manufacturing units. Indian Army launched attack on Hyderabad. Indian forces began their march, as ordered by the Patel on 13 September in three directions, under the leadership of General Chaudhry. Hyderabad Nizam decided to take military help from the Pakistan to fight against the Indian Army. Due to geographical distance, Pakistan was not in a position to send its army in time. Indian Army in a 5-day battle annexed Hyderabad from the Nizam and integrated it into the territory of India. Despite the Indian Army having only 35,000 soldiers dispatched for this operation, had a sweeping victory over the Nizam and annexed the state. In this battle, thousands of Razakars were killed along with the hundreds of Hyderabad state forces. After the embarrassing defeat, the Nizam of Hyderabad surrendered to the Indian Army. Qasim Razvi was jailed. The people of Hyderabad welcomed Sardar Patel with claps, whistles, flowers and played red carpet to him. Indian Army took over a powerful state and Hyderabad was attached to India, and officially Hyderabad became the part of India on September 18, 1948. Nehru was not interested in the annexation of Hyderabad. His idea was to make Hyderabad another Kashmir. To add salt to the wounds, Nehru released Qasim Razvi from jail, who was sentenced to life imprisonment and was sent to Pakistan after the death of Patelji. Qasim Razvi gave the responsibility of the MIM to Abdul Wahid Owaisi, today's so-called secular political party. When the Constitution of India came into effect on 26 January 1950, the Nizam was given with the status of Raj Pramukh. After the bifurcation of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, Government of Telangana is not celebrating 17 September as Liberation Day. CM K. Chandrasekhar Rao mortgaged sacrifices of Telangana people to Oisis. The reasons were quite political. The TRS party today owes its base in the state to the Razakars party Oisis. If K. Chandrasekhar Rao didn't celebrate Liberation Day officially, it would be insult to the sacrifices of many Telangana people who fought against Nizam rule. If Patel hadn't initiated Operation Polo, millions of people were killed by Razakars and converts Hyderabad into an Islamic state. The people of Telangana are forever in debt to the soul of Sardar Patelji. Without him, Hyderabad might change like another Kashmir to India.